Back then, the tides of the Chrysos War had not yet engulfed this city-state of Talenton. And the young princess inside the gates once loved to roam without worries. She snuck into forbidden grounds while the servants were away, but was shocked by what she saw on that day. A chessboard, a stack of pieces, and a strange woman. The board dissected by daylight and shadow, the pieces polished from rough stones uneven.
Fancy a game? If you are my match, then I'll call you my friend.
The stranger's voice was husky and coarse.
If you can beat me, then I'll call you my teacher.
The princess proudly retorted. Despite the bravado, the princess had never touched chess. The defeat made her study in earnest, acknowledging the other as a teacher. Well, first she learned the knights, bishops, rooks, and queen. Then how to defend, attack, capture, and checkmate.
I have learned all there is to learn.
Barely out of childhood, the princess raced into games of chess. Those who looked down on her faced many losses. Those who glorified themselves forfeited in a mess. At her prime, none could rival her at all. But she still recalled what the stranger said.
My origins bring dark omens, so never tell others where your teacher is from.
Then the waves of the Chrysos War washed over the world. The Achaemens welcomed a ruler. She was deemed imperator and loved to play chess with herself. She regarded all things as pieces, whether Chrysos heirs or Titans magnificent. Before every god-slaying campaign, she thought of the stranger from her childhood, as if that woman had always lived in her mind.
Isn't it lonely to play chess against yourself?
The princess did not understand at the time. But now, she who bore the crown finally realized the flame chase's beginning was like fuel being tossed onto the fire, and in the unending road of marching banners and war cries, she finally had the time to meditate. There were often jesters behind the king, curious about her past in her old city lost to time. One claimed the imperator was cruel, executing her own teacher. Another stated the imperator was biased, learning from an enemy hostage. Many such rumors abounded, with no origin found.
No matter. That was indeed the criminal sentence I read out.
The imperator stated evenly,
My teacher was an enemy hostage whom my elders had imprisoned. Her state betrayed our alliance and must be executed according to law. But she taught me chess, so why can't I chisel the word teacher on her tombstone now?
when the princess personally cleaned up the possessions of the dead, she caught sight of an incomplete game on the ground. The stranger's hoarse chuckle still echoed in her ear, laughing at the eternal fate of imprisonment, and at how the one facing her was the princess of the enemy.
Is this your final game for me, my teacher?
The princess imagined the end game over and over. Even when she took the imperial crown, she still dreamt of the black and white board. The concealed truths suddenly dawned on her during a more difficult contest in the future. An unfinished game might be the opponent's lifelong barrier. The Imperator's army stormed into the northern states for the first time, passing through city gates scorched by war.
Another tyrant still!
So exclaimed the angry child. The rock tossed from up high hit the girl's crown. The crowd shrieked and retreated, fearful of a ruler's flames of fury. The girl reached out, not to straighten the crown on her head, but to help up the child shivering in dread.
I heard in the old laws of this land, whoever assaults the crown shall be punished. But I wear another land's crown. And your old laws should also be abolished.
After many days, the gold weaver discovered in shock that wearing a crown or a hat to the side was now this land's fashion, likely to remain with the Imperator's name and tradition. The so-called heroes with golden blood in their veins all have the qualities to fight for the core flames. Who's to say this was not the gods' plan? To have the heroes at each other's throats so the divine could hide in old law's lair and laugh, play, and gloat. Who made this world a chessboard and with one stroke, one river, created the boundary between God and man?
Dux Gladiorum, Dux Carminum, Dux Helcalithist, Dux Fragoris, Dux Brumalis. Heed my call!
The girl stood before a mighty army with her scepter.
Today, I will insist on crossing the Rubicon, gather the might of all heroes, and begin the journey to slay gods!
Half of the core flames were now in her hands, and the hidden trickery titan stirred, leaving taunts. The Imperator summoned the heroes to discuss, finally stopping after much hesitation. As they had already pinned down the bones of Earth's beast, they let that thief live for a bit longer in bliss. The warrior of the fractured blade laughed boldly.
Our sovereign is good at open strategies and struggles with trickery. But where is that lithe fish?
The Imperator replied with a chuckle.
Her? She probably disliked the scent of cats and submerged herself in the baths.
The years spent with her dukes didn't seem too far distant. Yet only after the end of many wars did the heroes discover how the Imperator's form walked more and more alone.
The road of a ruler is a lonely one. One day, we'll only be able to see her retreating form.
The Swordmaster of Singing Waves was worried too. When all others had departed in intoxication, the two of them gazed into each other's eyes, towards torrents deeper than their fates, and sank into profound silence.
Drink one more cup with me, my dear follower.
In the end, the Imperator first broke the silence.
When compared to the taste of salt and blood, I sometimes miss your ambrosia.
About the destruction soon to be born and the eternally occurring extrapolation, the anti-Catherians spoke of all this in words unceasing.
So this is the old world I must fight against.
The girl's expression bore no sorrow or tragedy. Instead, she looked more solemn and ready than ever. Whoever stated the two kings could not meet face to face in chess?
I am the sovereign of Akama. I once faced the gods. So what do I have to fear about the laws hanging behind such gods? I will chop up the old laws and let them be firewood for the new.
No matter the cost. That was the Imperator's lifelong conviction. Never changed, always persistent.
I dreamed that the Imperator's statue stood before the world-wearing altar, her gaze level with that of the gods. Then blood gushed out from the statue's orifices, and the people, in cheers and elation, washed their hands in that golden blood. The tyrant's life will end with violent death. None will weep, and all will cheer as her statue topples. She will die before the dawn comes.
A vengeful aristocrat, one whose title was stripped by the Imperator, thus spoke.
We cannot agree with your excessive deeds. You have imprisoned Trebios' split selves, demanding that divine authority regress into the ruler's mouthpiece. We will reveal your future with the prophecy. And tell in truth, your crusade will indeed be a smooth path. Yet in the same breath, we see omens of your death, a demise in an absolute pure darkness. Even so, please excuse us, as our eyes continue to be drawn to your crown's flames. Dux Vitorum. We don't exactly hate that name.
In the name of Yanasopolis' priestess, holy maiden, and oracle, thus spoke the Imperator's Dux Vitorum.
Allow me to remind you, your life is now on a countdown with the fall of law, and you will become law. I must confirm, is our deal still going strong? Is the future I promised you more satisfying than the future in the prophecy? Ah, you are as resolute as always. Good. Oh, as ever, this prison of gods, amphorious and all mundane and average worlds, needs someone like you, a daring ruler. Let us end this despicable extrapolation together.
Amphorius is Theoros, the Imperator's co-conspirator, Lycurgus, thus spoke.
The Imperator betrayed the Flame Chase Alliance. And I was the sinner who paved the way for her achievements. Like how a deep-sea fish cannot escape the tide's push and pull, I granted her an end fitting for a tyrant. Her dying smile gazed towards my tear-swelled eyes. She commanded me to wash away all sins and filth, and return a blinding dawn to the holy city. She commanded me to set up stones and monuments in lightless seabeds to commemorate our friends. But who will remember her achievements? I will rest with her in a lonely song.
Electra, the last heir of the ocean, who played music on the waves alone, spoke thus.
Please record the truth of my life, dear author. No need for words of praise or solemnity. Just as I once instructed Dux Carminum, the histories of rulers are not for recording our merits, but for warning future generations. As for why the Imperator died, and what reproach she would face in life and death, those should be left for the new world to judge. Now I have personally entered my end, a self-flagellation. Let the boiling gold covering the holy city be stamped with my name. For I am certain I have won half a move against the gods. And this unfinished game will be left to the future to reach completion.
Cerydra, the only Imperator the holy city had ever seen, spoke thus.